Thank you for tuning in to the Patricia Show. My name is Patricia. This is part two, or you are always in control. Last week, the video ended abruptly and actually my phone rung, and so I put it on pause and then couldn't pick it back up. So I just let it end abruptly. This is part two. I want to continue that. Because what I was telling you was that you're in control of everything in your life. It might not appear that way, but I'm telling you, you are. Because you are the one that whatever you focus on is what you're going to bring in your world. So if you simply take your focus off of that you've created and put it on something else, it'll automatically leave out your life automatically. Now, sometimes it could be some things that's happening in your life, like it might not disappear right away. And that's the thing. Because we're in the human body and we focus on something, it may not, like when you focus on money, for example. So it might not appear right today, and you're focusing on money today. It might take 3 weeks for it to appear. But it will appear. It's the same thing with what you put your focus on. It's not going to appear right now. So let's say you have a lot of lack in your life, and you're trying to create wealth. So what you do is take your mind off the wealth and take it off the lack and put it on the wealth, and then it'll begin to appear. But it might not start appearing like next week. It takes 21 days for a new belief to enter. So it might take 21 days for you to start seeing that whatever you're in the midst of is you taking your attention off of it. So it is starting to dissipate. I don't care what that is, whatever it is, whatever. You could change anything in your life. So this is what you might have heard some of the teachers out there, new age teachers, saying that you can change anything in your life if you want to. The problem is they don't explain how you do it. But that is true. Because you brought it in your life in the first place by giving attention to it. So all you have to do is move your attention away, and eventually it will dissipate. Again, it might not happen like that day. It might take 3 weeks for it to happen. It might even take a month, depending on how severe you're in the midst of whatever it is you're trying to recreate. But it definitely will. It definitely will dissipate, because you are a powerful being, and you can create and uncreate whatever that is going on in your life, whatever. I know I used to hear this all the time, when I used to, like years ago, when I used to listen to the New Age teachers, and I was like, what are they talking about? How do you do that? Because I don't think there wasn't not one person that was teaching this could give you an explanation as to how you do it. They just simply said that you could recreate things, but not giving you the instructions. So now I'm giving you the instructions. Simply take your mind off of it and put it on something else. Whatever your attention is, that's where your attention is where you are. So basically that means whatever you put your attention on is what's going to come in your life. When you take your attention off of something, it's going to leave. That is the bottom line. And you could try this out. Try it out in your world with anything that you want to create, or you've created it and you're trying to remove it. Now, you have the promise of the Ascended Masters. The Ascended Masters are your elderly brothers and sisters that have been on this earth, that were on the wheel of reincarnation, and they were able to ascend. And so they don't have any more lives on this earth. And then when they ascended, they became the Christ. Now, I know a lot of you might not understand that, because you think that there was only one Christ, and that's Jesus. But that just is not true. And I'll have to get into that on another video. We all are the children of God, and we all are here to become the Christ. So, with that knowledge in mind, even if you don't understand it, again, I'll explain it later. But with that knowledge in mind, these ascended masters have promised that if there's something going on in your world and you don't want it there, and you put the effort to recreate it, to get it out of your, not to recreate it, but to, I guess that would be uncreate it, to uncreate it and move it out of your world, you have their problem that they will definitely assist you to do that. So if you need more energy, like if you're trying to uncreate something and you need more energy to do that, if you need more focus to do that, or whatever it is you need, they will help you. Because when you're trying to uncreate something, they see that you understand what's going on, and you understand, you're beginning to understand your power. That's you're beginning to understand your power and to know that you are the one that creates everything. And I can't say that enough. Whatever is going on in your life, you have created it by giving it your attention. So, I remember, this was a while back. I remember this lady had wrote me and told me that she had felt the presence of spirits around her, dark spirits, and she was telling me that she could barely feel them. You know, she said she could feel that they were there. It was something there, but she could barely feel them. She really was a strong believer in God. So for whatever reason, she could barely feel them. But the reason she could barely feel them is because she had never given them attention, because she didn't know what they were there. When she found out that they were there, she started giving them her attention more and more and more. And these dark spirits would do things to make her hurt in her body physically so that she could give that attention. So then into this, like, so, I don't even know if it was a year, but into this, what she was going through, she told me that she began to feel the presence more and more and more, this dark presence, until she eventually felt that they were just like human beings. You know what I mean? So she could feel the spirit there, but they felt like they were so real, like humans. Why is that? Because she had been giving them her attention for however long that was. I think it was a year, if I'm not mistaken. And so the attention of her mighty I am presence had depleted around her, because she was removing the attention off of their I am and putting it on these dark spirits. So it intensified the presence, and she could feel the presence more and more and more, until eventually she began to feel like, hey, they were right there with her. You know what I mean? Because she would feel it so strong. She wanted to move them out of her life. She eventually did. And she did, from removing her attention off of them and placing it more on the light, which is your God self. And when she began to do that, she told me that she felt it dissipating until one day she woke up and they were totally gone. You give power to whatever's going on in your life by your attention. If you don't want something in your life, remove your attention and you will not have them in there. I guarantee you that. They will all, or whatever you're going through, will leave or stop or cease to be, because you created them in the first place strong. So do you see how in the beginning, when she first realized they were there, why she could barely feel them? Because she hadn't put any attention on them. But when she moved the attention totally and put it on the light or something, anything from the light. When I say the light, I mean, God or her God self, or just positive things. That's what I mean by light. And then all of a sudden, they weren't, she didn't feel them anymore. Now, she also had told me that in the process of her doing this, I guess she was going to different readers and things like that, and they were trying to tell her to stop giving it attention, but she was saying that she really didn't understand why they were saying that, or she didn't really understand, because in her mind, she was thinking, well, if I stop giving them attention, they'll still be here because they were here before I was giving them attention. That is a good point, because she said they had been there all that long and she didn't know they were there. So when she stopped giving them attention, when she started giving them attention, they started growing and growing and growing. But she did understand that if she moved the attention, they would get less and less and less. But she thought they would still be there. This is what I found out since then. The reason they were there in the first place is because she has some type of karma that she needed to complete, right? So that's why, even though they were still there, she wasn't feeling them because she didn't know they were there, but they were still there, okay, because of the karma. When the karma is complete and then you remove the attention, they're going to leave because there's no reason for them to be there. You have taken away, right then, by moving your attention, you have taken away all power from them. And then the karma is complete, okay? So on the last video, audio, I keep saying video, not the last one, but a couple of weeks back, I given you a video on karma cures. And I told you some things that you could do for karma cures. You need to go back and listen to that. And if you do those karma cures, it's going to remove your karmas. If you remove your karmas and move your attention, they're not going to be there. You can move anything out of your life, whatever, by what? Moving the attention. Now, and again, I want to make this clear. If it's still there, it's because of the karma. When you do the karma cures, they'll have to go. Okay? So this is something that the karma cures is something that I just learned about. Like, oh my God, like a few weeks ago. Because I didn't even know about I had heard about these karma cures a while ago. Like a long time ago. But I really, didn't try to research it or understand or anything like that. So I'm going to say I fully began to understand these karma cures just a few weeks ago. And begin to really understand them so that, I could bring those cures into my life, which I have not done yet, but in the process of waiting on some stuff to come. But, so then I pass it on to you all because I think this is really, really important. And again, I explained this a few weeks ago about these karma cures. So go back and listen to that video. And if you do that video and then move your attention, you're not going to have a problem. Now, this could also be with maybe an old relationship. Maybe you got somebody that's hounding you and won't stay away. And, like for instance, my daughter had this guy that she was dating for 15 years and on and off. They used to argue a lot and he would just come back. They would have these severe arguments. They would break up and then here he come again. They would act lovey-dovey. The same thing, break up. It was just a vicious cycle. But I told her to do the Violet Flames, which I had given you all a long time ago. When she did that, the last time they broke up, it was the end. Because when she did the Violet Flame, that was one of the karmas that ended up getting transmuted. So then the guy left. The last time they broke up, he left her life. And for the first time in 15 years, he did not come back. So any type of problems that you're having in your life, even when it comes to money, you're having them because there's some type of karma issue. So move the karma, move the attention, put it on something else, and watch your life change. Because it will definitely change. Why? Because you are in control of all things in your life. You're the one that brings these dark forces in your life in the first place. You just don't know you brought it because you're thinking like, hey, I'm not going to bring any dark forces in. But by opening the door to negativity, you're bringing in all type of darkness. Okay, I have to end this tape. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great week. And love light is always yours.